Hey everybody, this is Sarah with Simply Sara Stampin. It's been a while since I've made a video and I figured it's about time to get busy and get another one posted for you. Plus, I am a part of a blog challenge called Try Stampin' on Tuesday, and we decided in 2018 to start doing one technique a month. I said I would do a video on sponging, so I will share that with you. As you can see, I've got a couple examples here of different cards that I made. I've posted the Christmas card and the birthday card on my blog previously. The sympathy card I made back with my ladies, I think it was in September for a Stamp-A-Stack, and I probably had about 15 to 18 ladies for 3 different classes, and I wanted to show them how they could create a card like this, and it's really not that hard to do. Everyone walked away with a card. They all turned out. It was pretty simple. It does take a little bit of time and patience to get your color in there, but I think it's a lot of fun and I want to share it with you. As you can see on these 2 cards, I did variations of colors. I just wanted to add a little bit more in, but when I made this card, I just wanted to keep it as simple as possible, and that is the card that I will be sharing with you. Alright, bear with me as I'm working on this and trying to get back into the groove of doing videos. Anyway, what I want to do is I want to start out by stamping my largest image. And I already have it inked up a little bit. I find that when you have solid images, it's better to have them inked once and then go back and do it again. And yes, I always ink up my stamps this way because I can see if the ink is covering the whole stamp or not. Alright, hopefully he comes out nice and solid here. Ooh, he did. One little thing, but that's not too bad. Okay, after that, I want to show you, I've taken just some computer paper and cut this. I need to do some masking for when I stamp my trees. So I'm going to grab those here. Oops, need my sample so I know what I'm doing. Alright, I used this biggest stamp here, this biggest tree stamp. And I just kind of decided where I wanted to position the tree. Whatever you do, you just want to make sure that it covers the whole part of your paper. If you just have a thin piece of scrap paper right here to mask, and your stamp goes above and below, you're going to end up with a big blob there. So you don't want that. Okay, ink this up again. Alright. Oops, nope, that's for my sponging. Don't want to do it that way yet. Actually, I've got to come and get the other piece. Depending on how I want the curve, I'm trying to match up what I have. Oops, there we go. Right here, and keep a curve here. So one going this way, one going that way. Just play with your paper when you're doing that to get the curves that you want. I don't really like that curve in particular. There we go. I want something not quite as defined. There we go. And now I will ink up a smaller tree stamp. And I'll go down a little bit. I want to change the curve here to go up a little bit. Re-ink the bigger tree. Sorry, I know it makes my whole camera shake when I'm doing this. You want to be careful too, don't use too much ink. I'm hoping that won't leave anything when I stamp on it. Guess we'll find out. doing this at an odd angle? All right, there we go. The stamping is done, nice and easy. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I want to do the sponging under the trees and just kind of show how it's got a little bit of shadow too. So first I'm just going to do a little bit of sponging that's light so you can get the line of your little hill or whatever it is there. And then I'll add it in a little bit darker. So I just take a sponge, I cut it in 4 or 6 pieces. And then that's what I can sponge with. So what you need to do now is you need to find the curve that you did right here. Oh, no, it looks like that's kind of funky, but it'll do. There we go. You want to have a little bit of it showing because if you have it flush, then you're going to end up having a gap just from the difference in the 2 papers there. I always sponge off, especially when my colors are dark like this. For now, I just want to have something that's showing that's really light. I gotta turn this. Then you just start sponging. It looks really light, but as you're doing it, if you pull away just that little bit, I don't know if you, yep, you can see it in the video. You're already seeing that definition. I want it to be a little bit darker than what I have, so I go back, get some more ink, and do it again. Now for the shadow part, all you do is put more ink on in that particular spot. So I kind of want, because my moon is going to be here, my shadow is going to kind of be cast that way, and on these they're going to be more this way. So all I want to do is just darken that area a little bit. And I'll show you in this card. I think this was the favorite of all the cards and different samples that I made. I loved how my shadowing turned out on this one. So you just keep going over it and bring it down as far as you want. You don't have to have it covered all through here, but if you want it darker, you can definitely do that. So that's what I'll do here, and I know through some of this I will be fast forwarding so I can keep my video under, I think it has to be under 15 minutes. Okay, there we go. If I find I don't like it, I can go back and after I've put the rest in and change it up a little bit. Now let's do these other 2. Same thing, I'm making sure that just a little bit of the ink is showing right there. As you can see, sure enough, there's my defining line. And now I want to do the shadowing, and this I really scrunch up quite a bit right here. And I don't want a lot of shadow under this one, just a little bit. And it's smaller, so I've got to keep it nice and tiny. There we go. It's as simple as that. Oops, you can't forget to go across the other side like I almost did, because it's going to look funny if you don't finish it off. So just a little bit of ink here. There we go. Okay, and now my last little bit. Okay, I think because this one's darker, I'm going to make both of these a little bit darker. All right, there. I like the look of that. Now I want to get the sky dark so we can see the moon. So this is just a sticky note. You can use computer paper and put it on that way too with some glue. Kind of decide where you want it to be. You want one tree in it a little bit, his antlers sticking out a little bit. Okay, so once I have that done, I lightly sponge, and I do mean lightly, around the moon here. Sorry, I have oily fingers, so I have to keep my fingers off the paper. So basically I just lightly sponge everywhere. I don't know if you can see that color on there or not. A little bit. Anyway, that's what I do, is I start out light. Then I start to work my way in from the corners. And this is a part that can take pretty long, but because this is a dark color and I'm only doing one color, it won't take quite as long. And I kind of work my way in and go around the moon so that you have that look where it's super bright by the moon and gets darker farther out. You can go as dark as you want. It's a personal preference. When the ladies did it, I had some that were light, some that were medium, some that were dark. It's just nice to see that they can all create something with the same idea, and yet it's a little bit different than the others. Okay, now on this side I'll do the same thing. And slowly move my way in. You just don't want it too dark when you first start, because you'll end up with a big blob, and then you'll be mad at yourself because you'll want to start over. I'll probably be going back in and defining that a little bit more. It's really not too hard to do. It's simple. You just dab up and down. For this, I don't recommend dragging it across or anything because it does not give it the same effect. This is a smooth effect that just gets lighter as you go in. Okay, I am going to go back and I'm going to make this a little bit darker just so you can see the difference between it. See, that's all it took, just a couple of dabs. Right here it does not look super dark. It almost looks like you won't even be able to see the moon, but trust me, you will. There you go. Now depending on what you want, you see this, you can make this a little bit darker if you want to. Totally up to you what you want to do. Okay, now let's put it together. And this is all dark roast, so I used buttercream and dark roast for this entire card. I did not put a sentiment on it like I did on any of my other cards. I'll decide what I want to use this for later. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this sponging technique and give it a try. It's super simple to do, and yet it kind of wows people, believe it or not. So anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you with another video later.